two warnings here. First warning, if you select that tool, the perspective grid tool, you will be in a mess because the perspective grid appears on the document, okay, and you are not able to put it out of the way, out of the view. You may choose another tool, it doesn't disappear. So what's the trick here? You must have the perspective tool selected, and then behind the toolbar you certainly have this little gizmo, and on this gizmo you have a cross. You click and then the grid disappears. So it's a trap. You only have to select the tool, and then you're stuck up with that perspective grid that stays on the document unless you close the document and reopen it. But now you know the trick. It's to have the perspective tool selected, and on the gizmo you remove the grid. So that was the first warning about the behavior of Illustrator and how to get rid of things. Something else important. If you have several different objects on in your document, and if you double-click on any of those objects, you are now in isolation mode. You see the breadcrumb here. So it's nice because you may change the objects any way you want, and you're sure that you will not by mistake modify the other objects. They are not modifiable because you are in isolation mode on that object. You go out with the arrow, one time, two times on the arrow. You double click on another object, and it's the only object you are able to modify. The other ones on the illustration are not attainable. Okay, and let's see what happens in the layers panel, window layers. It shows only that object. Okay, isolation mode, it's a group with a compound path inside. And when you go out of isolation mode, you have all of the objects that are visible in the layers panel. So when you are a beginner in Illustrator, it happens quite often that you double click on an object by mistake and you go into isolation mode. And if you don't know what I just explained, it's not easy to understand that you go out of isolation mode with the arrow in the breadcrumb on the top of the window. So if you wish, you may uncheck that option, you may disable that option. You go in the preferences menu of Illustrator, in the general part of the preferences, and here you have the double click option to isolate, and you uncheck it, and then it will not be possible to go into isolation mode by mistake. Now, if I double click on any object, I don't go into isolation mode. So maybe it's good for beginners. And if you want to go in isolation mode on one object, you may right click and choose isolate. Okay, I go out, okay, right click, isolate. And I'm into isolation mode, but not by double clicking, but by right clicking now.